Hello everybody, it's Josie here. I'm going to do another, well I say two book, actually it's a 3-book review. I sneaked in another book because I thought the book really suited kind of the theme of the other two, although to be fair, my theme for this month is quite consistent, so hey, they're all going to fit a theme, but I've read these 3 books and I loved them and I'm excited to talk about them, so I thought I'm going to put them all in a video. Okay, so my theme for the month, in case you didn't see my TBR video, so my personal kind of TBR theme for the month is all to do with strong fighting women. So I myself, I love boxing and kickboxing and Muay Thai, and I love weightlifting, and I'm really into kind of strong is beautiful. I think having strength, both physical and mental, is a good thing. So at the moment, I am kind of crazy about books that feature strong female protagonists, and particularly women involved in boxing and kind of martial arts and that kind of vein. So in that vein, I have these 3 books here. So the first one is this one here. It's called Gloves Off, and it's by Louisa Reed. You can see little gloves there, and you'll see the theme. This one is Girls Can't Hit, and this is by T.S. Easton. And the third book is Chessboxer, and this is by Stephen Davies. Now this is, you can see this is a proof copy, so this isn't actually the final cover. Final cover is kind of cool, but unfortunately I found this one secondhand. But anyway, the content of the book, brilliant. So, okay, let me start with the first one I held up, and it's this one here, is Gloves Off by Louisa Reed. Now, first of all, I really love this cover, and then underneath, I love the red paper. Sorry, I'm a bit of a sucker for a pretty cover, and look at that, isn't that gorgeous? So this book is not only beautiful outside, it's also beautiful inside. So so I didn't really know what to expect going in. So what this book is, it's a book about a young girl who basically learns to fight back. She's been bullied all her life. And what this book really does is it goes in depth into sort of body image. It goes into depth into kind of fat phobia and her being bullied at school because of the way she looks and her size. And then she kind of takes up boxing as a way to kind of empower herself and fight back. But what this book also is it's written in, so you can see I've tabbed the heck out of it because it's gorgeous, but it's written in verse. And it's such a beautiful combination of this really, and I will say trigger warnings for, obviously for fat phobia, for bullying, and it is this really gut-wrenching, heartbreaking story of this girl and her struggle, and written in this beautiful verse format is stunning. I loved it. The other book that I've read that was written in verse is The Poet X, which I loved as well. I'm realizing I like the style. It is so beautiful. Like I said, it is so heartfelt. I myself was bullied at school for being fat, so I read it and every emotion resonated with me. This is a 5-star read for me. I didn't expect to love it as much as I did. I'm going to reread it again in the near future because it's so beautiful. But it just is, it has an empowering message to it as well. And I think at the back, this what it says at the back is gorgeous, and I'll read it to you. It says, I'm going to be the girl who rises up out of the mud, out of the gutter. I am a girl. I own my destiny. And I think this is stunning. It's a gorgeous book. If you have any teenagers in your life, I would definitely get this for every teenage girl. So 5 stars. Highly, highly recommend this book. In that same vein is Girls Can't Hit by T.S. Easton. Again, you can see I have tabbed the heck out of this book. It's a former library copy, hence the nice cover. And this book is, oh, I love it. So this book, again, has these themes of feminism in it. So you've got bullying, a little bit of bullying. You've got a girl wanting to kind of strengthen herself and be more, and you've got this lovely friendship group. There's 3 friends, And they're all very, very sweet. You've got one who is very much a staunch feminist campaigner, and she's fantastic. She debates, she goes and she pickets. And then you have the other friend who is the main protagonist in this, and her name is Fleur. And she is very much a feminist, but she kind of does it on the quiet. She isn't sort of campaigning and doing things like that. And she's the one that decides to take up boxing. And then you have Pip, who is their boy best friend, who is really sweet. I would say, queer content. Let me just go back here. Queer content, there's a female love story in this. Really sweet. And in this one, you've got Pip. So what I love about this one as well is it's set near me. So they're in a town sort of between Brighton, and I live in Brighton in the UK, and they come down to Brighton to a nightclub. And there is a great reference of the nightclub being inclusive for everybody. And Pip is very flamboyant. He goes to this first boxing class with Fleur, and he dresses in kind of these vintage boxing shorts, and he's very much not afraid to be who he is, and he's kind of exploring who he is and trying to work it out. So that's a really lovely aspect of this book as well. Although there's no kind of queer content written on the page, to me Pip reads as queer, maybe gender neutral. That's just my interpretation. But anyway, so Fleur decides she joins this boxing club to get fit, basically, to get fitter, because she's having some problems on the hockey field as well with one of the girls. And then she discovers her love for it. And again, there is a beautiful... So when the first couple of chapters, after reading Gloves Off, I felt like this read a bit younger. The protagonists are 16, I think, in this, 16 going on 17. But it almost read a bit younger, but maybe it's just because the other one's more in verse and, you know, it's slightly different. But still, I really enjoyed it as an adult. Again, I love the discussions on what women can and can't do, you know, the real kind of power feminist aspect of this I loved. I loved the fact that Fleur really gets into this boxing scene, and she's not afraid to kind of get out there in the boxing gym with predominantly boys. I like the female friendships. I like the female friendship that develops at the end of this book as well. It's just wonderful. It's empowering. It has a really positive message. And I just really loved it. I literally did 4.5, 5 stars as well. It was great. And then the third book is this book over here. So this is Chessboxer. Now this is slightly different, but still obviously in the same vein. So you have a girl, and her name is Leah. And she is a chess champion. She is brilliant. She's very, very smart. And this book starts with her you know, playing chess and winning these tournaments. And then she loses. And she kind of spirals mentally a little bit. And she ends up taking up the sport of chess boxing in the end. Now, I will be honest, I had no idea that chess boxing was an actual thing. I don't know why I didn't know this. It is a thing. It is the coolest thing. So what happens in the women's sport of chess boxing is you, I think it's you play chess for 3 minutes, and then you go and you box for 2 minutes. And you can win either by checkmate, you can win via chess, or you can win via KO, via knockout, via points on the boxing side. So it is a complete sport of both mental and physical strength. And so I just found all of that really interesting. What I would say about this book is that if you don't understand chess, now I'm not a chess player, there's a lot of reference to chess moves, which I found really interesting, but it might be something that you don't find interesting. I find it really interesting. There's lots of chess references, chess grandmasters, chess moves in here. The other thing, which I kind of liked, but again, it depends on your point of view, is that a lot of it is written in, I'm trying to find a page. A lot of it is written in her blog posts. So Leah first does some blog posts, and there's sort of comments, and it's written sort of in blog posts. And then there's also things where she's got lists, which I kind of like. I sort of like that kind of modern aspect of it, where you've got that sort of digital age, the fact that she's reaching out via the internet because she is this child genius that's been homeschooled, that is very cocky, very arrogant, but I like her. I like her confidence. There might be people that would say she's way too overconfident and they won't like her. They won't find her likable. I like those kind of slightly grey main characters. I really loved her. By the end of the book, I really adored her. And this is a lot of fun. What I loved about this is that there's not really... There's sort of tiny hints of romance, but it really isn't a romance book at all. It's about Leah, about her journey, about her coming to terms with something really gut-wrenching in her life as well, coming to terms with trauma, dealing with trauma and how you deal with that and what your outlets are. And it just, again, fabulous book. Again, 4.75, even 5 stars. I loved these books. So I think I'm going to roll this month with my boxing books so far. They were great. Highly recommend all 3 of them. Let me know what you think. If you've read any of these, let me know. And then also let me know if you have any recommendations in that same vein. And I will talk to you all again very soon. Thank you very much for listening. Bye.